some Singaporeans abroad, they think that if you come back to Singapore after moving, you'll be viewed as a failure. That's why some people, after they move, right, no matter how much they suffer, they don't want to come back. And they are right, I suffered.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Hot Pot where we hop into different transitions in life. I'm Nick.
I'm Q.
I'm Joey, and today we have our very famous, everybody's favorite TikTok psych major and Singaporean living in Perth, Chrysan Lee.
Whoa!
Hello, hi, I'm Chrysan. I've been on social media for over a decade now. Very old, very long. Not sure why I'm still here. Not sure why these guys have asked me. So, hi.
So today's episode is about living overseas. The big move, living alone, whether it's really a dream or it's overly romanticized.
She fly back all the way just to appear on this
join us,
episode.
right?
Biggest lie I've heard.
Not a visa run.
Not a visa run, guys.
Wink, wink.
Stop.
You moved overseas last year, right?
Yes, last year, June.
Okay, tell us why you made that decision.
My school offered like, hey guys, like those who are studying in Murdoch, like anybody wants to go to Australia, like move to the campus there. And I'm just like, yeah, let's go.
You were working as well, right?
I was.
And freelancing.
Yes, working and also freelancing.
So you landed on Perth because of this lah? Like,
Yeah, it's
okay.
completely random, like not planned at all. I think I decided like maybe February or something, 2023. And then by June, I was there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, what was that process like from February to June, like in terms of the prep, all the logistics and
Logistics.
things like that?
Logistics was like super tight because like you need to get your study plan in order. You need to get your visa. Visa was like the most complicated one. And when I moved there, right, I didn't even like research about Perth yet.
So that means you just went in blindly. Yeah?
I really just went in blindly.
You're not in student accommodation or anything.
There
right?
is student accommodation, but it's so expensive, bro. Like when I saw the prices, it's just
Might as well
nah.
rent outside.
Might as well rent outside, get some like real life experience, you know.
Wait, tell us the rates. Tell us the rates.
A few $1,000s a month at
For like
least.
what size? Like a studio?
Room.
Like a room?
Yeah.
That's like Singapore.
That's
But
like a whole
that's-
house. You can rent a whole
yeah.
house.
No, you can have like a studio apartment kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But it's not worth it, man. Like I think it's still very small because it's still within the compound, right?
Yeah.
You need to squeeze with everyone, and if you have loud sex, then that's it.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Very practical, yeah?
So yeah, don't
yeah,
do
yeah.
that. And I think they have curfew as well. Yeah, but don't quote me on
That's
that.
quite
I don't
lame,
know. It's a bit
A
lame.
little bit.
Everyone 10 p.m. Shut up.
No,
No
because
such thing, you're in
5
Perth.
p.m. you must shut up already.
Dude, you're so right.
Yeah.
No, legit. Yeah, 5 p.m. gone.
Like 10 years ago, did you ever consider like, at some point I want to go overseas?
Or it
Whether-
only happened like in your late 20s.
10 years ago, maybe more in recent years, I'm like, oh my god, I really want to like get out of Singapore. But I didn't know it was gonna happen that way. Like I really didn't expect it was just like to study or anything. And it's too impromptu.
And when you say get out of Singapore, right?
Yeah.
Did something trigger that feeling?
Yeah, why?
Firstly, because I think that in Singapore, I've gotten so used to it. Singapore in general is very small. And I feel a little bit caged up. So I want to be able to like experience something new outside. The second point is because I have not like spoken about it publicly. It's quite private, but I'll share with you guys.
Exclusive info.
But I shared with Google as well recently. So
They're not that
exclusive.
it's like it's a little bit less exclusive. But this one is online, babe. It's public.
True.
There was like, you know, all these like online sagas going on, and also like spreading of some of like my private information online. Not to say that Singapore is not safe. I just personally feel that Singapore is so small that everywhere I go, I might bump into someone who has bullied me online before.
But I guess like in this situation, you are offered a fresh start in a new place, a new opportunity, a new journey in your life, and you kind of have the security of going to school. So it's not like you need to find a job immediately to fend for yourself and you have like nothing planned. At least you have some parameters set, which is school. Did that help you make this decision to decide to go overseas?
No, this didn't matter at the start. Like for me, just going there to study, I feel like, okay, it's fun. Like, I'll just do it. Because like I have the spontaneous bone in me. But when I got there and just being a student, like I can be honest right now, like it was hell.
Why,
I am not used to it. Oh, why?
Yeah, why?
Imagine like being in Singapore. First of all, the city is bustling. Like you're working all the time. And I was, doing all like my freelance work and everything. I have a lot of friends here. So like my schedule was always very packed. But the moment I got there and I had to concentrate on being a student,
You got nothing to do lah. Or nothing fun to do.
I mean, if you put it that way, yes, yes, it's nothing to do, and also it breaks down your sense of self. I almost feel like I lost my identity. Like this is not me.
I think even Perthians will attest to that. Like they always have this disdain when you say Perth.
Joey, before you met Charlie, right? Did you ever have thoughts of like moving overseas?
Always. I never pictured my life in Singapore.
Go where?
Ever. At first it was Sydney. When I first went to Sydney, I was like, oh my god, I feel like home. I want to live here. I love the lifestyle. I feel very comfortable. So it'll be Sydney, Bali, or...
Oh, you do look like a
Bali's
Bali girl.
amazing.
Bali, right? Like
Bali,
Sydney,
yes.
Bali, America. These are like my top threes.
New leh.
What's the question?
You leh.
You got want to move overseas?
You leh.
I think growing up, I've never imagined myself living Singapore. I always felt like, oh, I'm a Singapore girl.
You're a Boon Layan.
Boon Layan. And I always felt like I should never leave my parents behind. But I think these days, I feel a bit stifled lah. Just yesterday, I was in an MRT station, right? And then I just felt like, wow, 人山人海, really. It was just...
People mountain, people
People
ocean.
sea.
It's just-
sea.
Yeah.
But you know
very
what?
crowded.
Do you all ever feel this? When you are in other countries, as long as it's not Singapore, you feel like content with nothing. Like when I'm sitting on the couch in America, there's nothing to do. I feel completely okay not doing any work. But when I'm in Singapore, I feel like I need to go. What's the next move? What's the next thing I need to do? Like I can't relax here. I don't know why.
Okay, the psych major in her
Yeah.
is triggered.
Lie.
Let's go.
Yes, because like
Lay it
it's
on me.
interesting that you said that, right? Because the moment that I come back to Singapore, I always get this feeling that I must hustle. Immediately, I get this like wave of anxiety.
Yeah.
And like it's very obvious because culture and also you have your environmental cues and everything, right? But the reverse is actually like false because when I'm in Perth, I have the Singaporean in me to keep hustling, and when I don't, I start questioning myself, like what's going wrong.
You got Singaporean friends there?
Have.
Or
My first person that I met was a Singaporean.
Oh, nice. So cute.
you got more Singaporean friends or Australian friends in Perth?
I rarely have any Australian friends.
Oh,
I
so you
have-
are one of those that
What
go
do
there
you
then
mean? Why your hand must put here?
you join Singapore society.
Why the hands on hip or?
Go overseas study then join Singapore society.
Is it just like
No,
Facebook?
it's not. Like most of my friends are actually expats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
but
they live there lah.
They live there. They are from somewhere else. Like I have
Okay,
quite
okay,
a
okay.
balance. Dude, I don't have a lot of friends there.
Okay.
Question, how do you make friends there?
Oh, so many ways.
Like what, Tinder?
Tell us.
She said it in like a Tinder
Yeah.
kind of
Suggested
way.
in
so many ways.
like,
Ish, yes, because I actually downloaded Bumble BFF. And yes.
Bumble BFF.
No, I just like
Like
the
for
idea
friends,
of
ah.
making friends.
It's not just a dating site.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you can switch to like BFF. And I
Right.
found 2 very good friends there.
Love that.
Guy or girl?
Girls.
Oh.
Why must ask?
I'm curious, like, do guys go on there to try to meet girls? Going from the friend zone.
Correct, right?
They do. But I'm not sure. It feels like they were genuinely trying to be friends.
Oh.
But for me, it never progressed to like the friendship stage.
Okay, wait, since you're
Yeah.
on that, right, can I ask, how's the dating situation there?
Good.
Love that.
Cause close at 5 p.m. nothing to do outside, Ima. Then
What do you mean?
Come my house.
That's why
They're
you
all
stay in
not-
the dorm.
they're all not working also, right?
Oh, yeah.
Stop, I'm shy.
A bunch of kangaroos.
How's the options there?
The options are not.
It's
Sorry, I wanted to say not amazing.
The options
Why they're
can-
not? Why they're not?
No, I think the options are actually okay. Like it's just like anywhere else. It's fine. It's just the reason why I say it's not amazing. It's not from me, okay? Is because my other girlfriends in Perth often complain about Australian men.
Oh,
But
no.
it's not me. I personally found a very good man, so I'm happy.
Are you dating someone?
Yeah, I'm dating someone now.
congrats.
Is he Australian?
Thank you.
Is he a Perthian?
He's like a Perthian through and through.
Wow.
which is
you
very
really
different.
embraced Perth, eh?
I embrace it every night.
Down under. She's embraced it down under.
Every night. Wow, good seminar.
Whoa. Okay. Well.
Anyway.
So Q, where have you considered moving to before?
I think New Zealand or Japan.
Explain, elaborate.
New Zealand, because the scenery is great. It feels like it's a quiet place, peaceful.
Yeah.
Japan, I think I like the way it made me feel. But I think I'm just someone who likes the peaceful environment. I mean, enough people to socialize with, but at the same time, the rivers, the lakes, the forests.
Actually, this is something that I struggle with quite a lot. It's one of the few things in life that I have to internally process and I struggle with. Because I feel like there are many points in my life where I want to go overseas and work. But then it's very hard to align destination, timing, and then the phase of life. And then you need to time it where your parents are not too old. Because I want to be here when my parents are older. So it's a bit of a now or never kind of thing. So I feel like the advice I will always give younger people, right, is go when you are younger. And I think exchange, if you are studying in the local unis, exchange is a great opportunity to do that.
I always wish that I had that.
Yeah, I think that was the only regret I have from not going to a local uni, the exchange part.
Man.
I don't really care about the rest. So now in the course of my work, there are opportunities to relocate. But what a lot of people will realize when you start working long enough is that very rarely, right, when you compare to Singapore, the math doesn't work out. Your earning power here, the strength of the currency, the taxes that you pay, the cost of living, Singapore is quite good lah.
It's good.
Yeah, so I went to calculate, right, if I were to move laterally into a London or somewhere in Europe, right, a European city, likelihood is that I would be earning about 30% less.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah, laterally, same level.
But cars are less expensive. Houses are less expensive.
But I don't plan to buy a house or a car there. And rent is higher than Singapore. And there's no hawker center or things like that,
Have you ever thought about moving to a more affordable country?
Yeah, possibly. But then at the same time, because for me, right, the end goal is always to come back to Singapore. I might be living my best life there, right?
Yeah.
Living a luxurious life in my villa or whatever. But then you will be saving less money also. When you convert it back to SGD, then you come back here, your retirement funds will
not strong lah.
will ultimately be less than what you can save for your retirement here in Singapore.
He's really thought about it, guys. Let's take it back to your decision making, right? Were there any people in your life, your friends or family, that had objections or were telling you maybe you should reconsider this and not go?
No. I think everyone in my life was really supportive. Whatever I choose to do, especially with my family, they will always say yes. But that does not mean that they would not let their opinions be known, for example, I think the older generation, they tend to think why? What's the point? You can stay here, your life is good, your family is here, your friends are here. The moment you leave the country, you are going to suffer. And they are right, I suffered.
And I think the other benefit of moving overseas also, if we don't look at money lah, right? I think it's exactly that, where you are exposed to a lot more unfamiliar situations. You are removed from your sheltered environment. I feel it makes you a more resilient and worldly person.
I feel I'm forever a jelly.
What does that mean?
Means what? People
soft,
throw things at you, then bounce back lah.
I wish it was
Just
like
repel,
that.
repel everything. Yeah.
I think I'm quite the fragile type. I'm not. Some people, I think, naturally, when you look at them, they are just strong. I can
beat up a
handle
man.
this. Yes, but don't.
Don't be
Yeah,
anyone.
she gave me this vibe.
Oh,
She can handle things.
You're a bit more of the stale jelly, a bit hard.
stubborn.
Cannot really eat.
Stubborn
in
and
that kind.
delusional is the word. But I think I've had multiple experiences in America where I'm what do you mean it's this time and I don't have access to a 24-hour mall where I can just buy what I need?
Yeah.
I remember if there's a flea market the next day and I need hangers, I can go to Mustafa.
Oh, that's a
God,
very
yeah.
very
Specific.
specific.
But it's a very good example.
Yeah, bubble tea. There's no bubble tea within a 2-hour radius, driving. I'm Singapore, I can just go downstairs, got IT already, or you go, there's Popular bookstore. not to endorse.
You buy bubble tea at Popular.
No, as I'm saying, if I need envelopes,
Okay,
I don't need to drive to a Staples that is open only at whatever time.
Yeah,
We have
yeah.
mama shops. they're 24/7. We have 7-Eleven. We can grab food things. In America, you can't really do all these things all the time. That is one of the things that I really need to remember, like, not to take for granted lah.
You mentioned that you suffered quite a bit, right? What was the biggest struggle?
Oh, so many.
You got like just sit in bed and ugly cry kind.
Yes.
I think she got.
Yeah,
I got see her TikTok videos.
I suddenly
like,
can visualize.
I don't think you
Nah, that
recorded
was-
right.
No,
The
I
crying.
didn't.
But I could sense that
There was an ugly cry.
There were days that she ugly cried.
Yeah, I
and
can
then
sense also when you
she
say.
felt lonely.
There was a few months where I was in Perth, right? And I was just very depressed. You know, you don't actually know what's wrong because I can see everything is okay. Partner is lovely to me. I have food. I have school. I'm like a useful person. But I just felt so sad. And it's difficult to handle when you're not around your friends and family.
Was it during the colder season?
Seasonal depression.
Yes.
Not gonna lie, every time I solo travel during the autumn and winter season, right? And if I'm alone, there'll be one night where I'll be crying. I'll be crying. And I don't know why.
Autumn is a bit reflective. Like, you can, like, put the cardigan at Ariana Grande and then it's like...
No, that's me.
But winter is when you're like...
Yeah, no cardigan, in North Face come out.
Yeah.
Once you have to wear your long johns,
No, and then
right,
when you
that's
sleep
it.
on the ice.
Ah, why you
Sleep,
sleep on the
sleep.
ice? Oh, slip.
Slip on the
Slip.
ice.
Like,
When you
Like,
slept
oh
on
my
the ice.
Nobody here to
oh my god, yeah.
catch me.
Thing.
Nobody here to
Poor
take care of
thing.
me, you know?
Sometimes when I travel for work and then I'm away for quite a while, right, then I'm a bit like homesick, right? My hair will drop.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. No, I don't mean
Yeah,
to laugh,
very-
right? But because Joey and I looked at each other, because the change in tone, right? We knew something random will come out.
Yeah, then I'm very stressed, you know. Then I become extra stressed.
Then
No, you stress
drop
because you
more.
stress, right?
Yeah, I stress
It's
because
a
I stress.
feedback
Then
loop
after
of
that,
hell.
like, then my hair dropped. Then I was like, why?
Why?
Is now the time
My goodness.
where I need to go and like sort it out. Then after I come back to Singapore, then okay already.
That's very immediate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Immediately come back.
Yeah,
No,
he's true blue Singaporean need to stay here.
Question part.
Would you rather only wear undergarments or only wear winter clothes everywhere in Singapore? Undergarments.
True? No, true.
Huh?
It's them
A lot of uncle.
I would just wear undergarments. You have really cute undergarments these days. You're gonna be fine.
No, I cannot. When uncle look at me, I will feel damn guilty. Then I want to cover my face forever and go home and never come out again.
Choose one. Drink everything from a baby sippy cup or wear a bib for every meal. I drank from a milk bottle till a pretty late age. I can't remember what age, but it's not normal.
Like 10?
P5
No, I think a bit younger. I think younger than that, but it's still like older than the average.
What title would you give this chapter in your life?
I cannot. Of course he gets this question. It's not even scripted.
We're expecting something funny already. You better make us laugh.
Wait, what chapter? Okay, you name. See, you just met him, right? Give him a
Yeah.
chapter name.
I don't know, a head full of hair.
Oh, that is so good That's very good
What kind of fry is superior? Waffle, wedge, crinkle cut.
Oh my god, this is such a her question.
There's only one fry in this world that is superior. It's
Shoestring.
Chick-fil-A fries.
What kind of fry is that?
It's like a waffle kind of fry, but the way they
Crisp cut.
fry it's with the russet kind of potato, so it's yellow with a bit of brown.
Actually, do you all think that like across different generations there are different views on moving abroad?
I think at its core, the knee-jerk reaction is so different. Like for old people, it's like, huh? You don't feel guilty about leaving your parents behind. Even my relatives, the first thing they ask me is, aren't you like sad? Then your parents, how? What are you gonna do about them? You leave them behind. It's very like, I am actively hurting my parents by choosing what's good for my life. And thankfully, my parents don't see it like that. My parents see it as like they want me to do it because they know it's what's best for me and my family.
There's a lot more like grass is greener on the other side kind of thing going on lah, where you look to like the west and like everywhere outside of Singapore and like wow, like it looks so much fun, or it just feels like exciting because it's foreign, right? So I do think that there is that push like to move overseas amongst the younger folks. But then at the same time, again, I feel that like when people start to age and then they value different things like stability, safety. Last time when I was young that time, right, I like don't care about my own safety one.
Huh?
Yeah, I go to like very, very like rural,
Strange places.
strange holiday destinations, right? Then like, oh, so fun. Q knows this. Like, got a few work trips where like I really nearly die.
What do you mean? What did you do?
Actually, I don't know what he
He
means.
dying and starving.
Splunking.
The spelunking.
Spelunking,
like,
is it?
Nearly
What's
died.
splunking?
Cave.
It's like cave diving.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Then why is you own self do lah?
For content. I feel like as I grow older now, then I value like there's a greater sense of self-preservation. So then Singapore suddenly becomes a lot more attractive. So I feel maybe it's not a case of like different generations, but it's more of different phases of life.
So, Chrysan, I think we've all seen your TikTok videos, and there were some videos where you were quite vulnerable about how you felt being lonely and stuff, right? But did you ever feel the need to present yourself in a better light, or your situation in a better light where you're actually having a good life?
No, not on social media. I didn't find the need to present myself a certain way. But in communication with my family especially, whenever possible, I do not want them to know how bad I'm doing.
Yeah, like positive vibes
Like
only.
white
Don't
lies.
worry, that kind of thing.
White
lah.
lies so that they don't worry, right?
And it's interesting that you brought up this point, because I met some friends recently, they moved abroad and then they came back. They were discussing, like they mentioned that, some Singaporeans abroad, they think that if you come back to Singapore after moving, you'll be viewed as a failure.
Huh?
I was like, that's why some people after they move, right, no matter how much they suffer, they don't want to come back.
You mean if you move as a student and you come back, but you come back after your graduation, then why?
No, like, if they leave
like if
the
you,
country
like-
to pursue a life elsewhere,
Oh.
and then somehow they wrap up their life there and then they come back.
Right,
then
right,
there
right,
might
right.
be comments like, I told you already.
Told you already cannot.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of social pressure.
It ties in with an episode we did about Singaporeans just not really being supportive of one another and low-key just wanting everyone else to fail. There's always like comments like that. Like, you sure you want to move? Okay, try. See you in 5 years.
Oh,
like, there's a
shit.
very negative... I've
Right.
heard this many times with people. And I know friends who personally, like, they are overseas, online. The life looks very polished and nice. And then having, conversations with them, you realize they're actually behind on rent. They are not in a good place. Marriage is like falling apart. Definitely people feel pressured because you are almost performing to prove your family back home wrong. Like, I can do this.
So actually, right, like living in Perth, what is the biggest cultural shock you have experienced aside from the 5 p.m. everything closed?
I don't know, I have this impression that maybe in the rural areas it will be a little bit more unsafe as compared to the city, but that's not true. I feel that in the city it's a little bit more unsafe. You can see visible homelessness and also drug addiction, and I think that's very difficult to watch.
Have you ever faced racism in Perth?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
what they do?
I have. I think it was just like a bunch of young boys, like they're in the
Yeah.
car, and then they were driving by, and they're like, oh, Asian, right? So they just like wind down the window, and then they said like, I think something like, go back to your country, you Asian cunt, like really loud. And in that moment, obviously, who is the Asian cunt? Me lah, I'm the only Asian person there.
Else? 是我啊
But it's okay, I managed to scream you, so...
Oh, nice. Not that.
Love
But-
that for
but I was
you.
scared, okay? It was just like a adrenaline thing, because
yeah.
otherwise I'll be scared. What if they stop the car and they come out and they beat me up?
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah.
That's quite
So
dangerous.
don't do that, yeah.
What advice would you have for someone who's considering moving or wants to move?
If you ask me as a friend, right, I would say go for it. Like, I feel like, every time like you have this kind of chances, right, it's not a common chance. It's rare. So you should take a chance on it. But always have things prepared. It's always better to be prepared than to not. It's quite easy for people to think that, everything's gonna be like easy breezy, everything's gonna be nice, and basically a little bit like romanticized. But things about maintaining your friendship, manage your finances, being far away from home, it's all lessons that you will never learn unless you do it yourself.
Like the millennials would say, YOLO.
Oh yeah, now YOLO is a millennial thing.
Yeah, but it's really life is short, right?
No,
Just
YOLO.
do what makes you happy.
I recently learned this thing, like when you die, it's literally just a dash. It will be 1995 to something. So some people get a dash tattooed to remind them that you only live this life once. No one's going to remember every little mistake you made. Even your biggest accomplishments. Not everyone's going to remember that.
You just gave me an idea.
To dash tattoo?
No, next time my grave, I wanna do a timeline.
Yeah. I was just thinking that also.
His tombstone
Put
will
a
be a QR
URL.
code.
Oh,
Put a
QR codes.
URL,
Then
QR
people
code,
scan,
link to a
right?
microsite.
It's his link.
Microsite.
Yeah, then got like biography.
Oh my god, it's a
Clever.
slideshow. It's
Yeah.
a slideshow.
Hey, it's an animated film.
Oh, sorry.
The Yimster archives.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of The Hot Pot. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Me Listen.
And subscribe to us if you haven't already.
And let us know in the comments as well your stories about moving abroad. And special thanks once again to Chrysan Lee for joining us today. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Remember to subscribe.
Yay.
And we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.
Then you LDR now.
Oh, yeah.
Why he asked like that?
No, he always like that. No, you just
Welcome to Nicholas Yin.
Yeah. You leh?
You leh? You never ask me.
You leh?